I'm back at the Walk-In Wedding Chapel with Chaplain Scott, and we're actually doing part 2 of our series based on his premarital counseling course, the 52 questions every couple should ask before they get married. And last time the theme was work, right? This time we're talking intimacy and romance. So thank you so much for having me again.
Thank you so much for coming to the Walk-In Wedding Chapel.
Of course.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Yes, it's so inviting here. I love it. All right, so let's give a scenario here. You've got a couple, they love each other, right? They're excited about getting married, things are good, but one of them is thinking, I just wish we had more time together, like real time. And the other one's thinking, I'm working so hard for us, I'm doing everything I can. But they're not telling that to each other. So what's going on here?
Oh, I see this all the time. Couples love each other and they're trying the best they can to show love the way that they know how to show love, but they've never actually asked the question, how do you feel loved by me?
Oh, interesting.
So that how they express love and how the other person receives love is a mismatch.
Yes, I've definitely heard of that. The love languages, right? Okay, so from the outside, that couple does look great. They're posting pictures. You know, we talk about this all the time. Social media is usually the highlight reel of people's lives. But one person may be starting to feel like a little disconnected. The other person has no idea because, like, again, they're keeping it up here. They're not really expressing it to each other. So even in a good marriage, because I've been married 18 years now as well, that's where you can start to feel like, wait a second, why does this feel like everything is technically okay, but it's a little off?
Absolutely. In marriage, you get the passion for free. It's like you don't even come together unless you have the passion.
True,
that is
yeah.
usually like right at the beginning. But the passion is like a fire, and like all fires, they're gonna burn down. You gotta keep putting logs on the fire.
Yes, good analogy.
What you put on the fire has to burn well. And what burns well for the one person might not burn as well for the other person. And so many couples I find, they've never actually asked the question, how do you feel loved by me?
Right.
And when they ask that question, it changes everything.
Right, yeah, no, I've learned that my husband and I have different love languages as well, too. So that is a good point. And then once you start talking about it, then you can actually work through it. But a lot of people might think, well, we've got the passion, we've got the love, it'll just fix itself. But that's not always the case.
Yeah, that is the assumption that what we have now will always be what we have now. But that's not true at all, because human beings, they're different, first of all.
Yep.
They grow, they come from different families, different backgrounds, they've got different tastes. Men and women are not the same.
Right.
And so until we have these conversations, we're really operating off assumptions that are mostly based on ourselves and our background.
Right.
But when we get the question on the table, everything changes, and suddenly it becomes so much easier.
And that's exactly what your premarital course is designed to do, right? Take the guessing out of it.
Absolutely, and we can provide this free, and couples can go through the 13 questions in this segment. There's 4 segments, each with 13 questions. In about an hour, they could cover one segment, and literally, instead of guessing, they can know what their partner is thinking and feeling.
Right, so what is one thing that a couple can do right now today?
The best thing that they can do right now, and surprisingly, most couples haven't done this, is simply ask their partner, how do you most feel loved by me?
You want it to not be complicated, you want it to be intentional, and it really makes you feel closer right away. I think that's what people really want going into a marriage, is that confidence.
Absolutely, and when they've had these questions and they've gone through the course, they come in here, they have no fears, no doubts, full of confidence. They know that not only do they love each other, not only are they happy, but they have the tools that they need in order to keep this love alive for a lifetime.
And that's why they come to the Walk-In Wedding Chapel. Not only are you going to get married, and how beautiful is this place, but also you're going to start that marriage strong and with the confidence.
Absolutely, because there are the two sides of marriage we've talked about before. There's the legal side, and then there's the union side of things.
Spiritual union.
Yes, and part of that union is the ceremony. You want to say your vows, you want to connect, but the other part is actually getting to know the other person. And an interesting part is you need to keep getting to know your partner.
That's true.
Because we change over time.
We do.
And the seasons of life change.
Yeah,
and
you
the
hear
needs
when people say, oh, we just grew apart. Well, don't let that happen. And of course, if you want to access Chaplain Scott's full premarital course, the 52 questions you should ask before you get married, you can find it online, walkinweddingchapel.com. And I think I'm excited. We're going to keep this going through the different categories. So stay tuned for part 3, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Jordan.
having me again. And if you'd like to see this interview again, just head to First Coast News Plus.